So I built the 76 to visit remote places just like the one behind me. Now, one of the top priorities I had when I was doing the build was vehicle reliability. Remember, when you're modifying your vehicles, your cars are only as reliable as the accessories you put on it, which is why I opted for the Safari ARMAX package. And today I want to talk to you about some of the features and benefits you get with the whole ARMAX range. So let's start with the ARMAX ECU. So you remember when we installed it, we were talking about the engine protection it offers. One of those things that we installed was an exhaust gas temperature probe. And what the ECU does is monitor those temperatures constantly. So if you're driving up a steep hill, towing loads, things like that, and your exhaust gas temperatures start getting too warm, the ECU will actually back off the fuel and make sure those come down again. The other thing it does is monitor engine temperatures. So cold morning, you've just started your car, the ECU actually limits the amount of intercept or power that it's giving to the engine. Once that comes up to temperature, obviously, then you get your full power and torque from your ECU. So say you're driving along and you throw a throat cold. You can put your laptop here, plug it into this Ethernet port here, and as long as you've got an internet connection, call up Safari over in Melbourne, and they can actually remote log into your ECU, do any fault code finding, vehicle diagnostics, or upload tunes. Now the other option you have is driving into a dealership. Now most dealers will blame an aftermarket product before one of their own products. So what Safari does is gives you this bridge connector. What that does is plug into the wiring harness of the ECU. It comes with this handy dust cover to cover up the other ports. Bridge connector then bypasses the ARMAX ECU and runs the vehicle back on the factory one. And that's proving to the dealership that the problem's not with the ARMAX ECU, but something else. This big red beast is the Safari ARMAX 1100 Newton meter clutch. Now, for those of you in the 70 series, you know that the clutches, the factory ones, are quite weak. If you're doing any towing, performance upgrades or carrying heavy load, you're going to have to upgrade your clutch. So this actually increases your clutch capacity by 250%. Comes with a 20,000K and 12-month factory warranty on the product. And the slave cylinder that you come with the ARMAX kit makes your clutch pedal feel like factory. So unlike heavy-duty clutches where you have that really stiff clutch pedal, the ARMAX one actually feels like factory, which is awesome. The old Land Cruiser Snorkel debate, eh? Well, it can really only be classed as a raised air intake, and that's because of the split here and the way it joins into the airbox. It's not actually watertight. So one of the main reasons we want to put a snorkel on is obviously for river crossings, but the other one is for that clean air, so dust-free clean air coming from here. So most modern vehicles that don't have a factory air intake, factory raised air intake, come out of the guard. And obviously that's dusty, dirty air. So the other reason we're fitting the ARMAX snorkel is the sheer size of it. So you can see the size difference between the two. And that's because of the power gains that we're getting out of the engine because of the ARMAX ECU. The factory one just wouldn't be able to deliver that volume of air like the ARMAX one does. It's got the cyclonic head on it, which is great for dust, but it also doesn't give you that air ram effect like the Safari one does. So you're getting nice clean air. A lot of people turn these around in the rain. There's no reason to do it. It's actually designed for the rain to come in and get spurted out the sides here. So anyone that turns their snorkel around, well, you're not actually getting the air ram effect, so I'd leave it facing this way. It's a 3-inch redback exhaust, and it comes with a Safari ARMAX package when you buy it. It's the one they've used and developed all their tunes on, and that's why we've decided to install it in our car. 3 inches back from the turbo, all the way to the dump. Of course, my vehicle's pre-DPF. So if I had a DPF in there, I wouldn't have removed that. The exhaust goes from the DPF back. And Safari has developed all of its tunes to work perfectly with the DPF without any power loss. So there's no real point in removing it. Also, it's not legal and you don't meet your emission standards. So definitely keep that in there. So there's a little bit more about the ARMAX products in my car and what they do. But the biggest thing that sold it for me is that 5-year or 100,000K engine and drivetrain warranty from new. But if you were to buy a second-hand car that's a year old and has done 20,000 Ks and put an ARMAX package in, you'd still get 4 years or 80,000 kilometres worth of warranty, depending on which one comes first. And it's something really to keep in mind when you're thinking about doing performance upgrades to your four-wheel drive, is what company is actually going to give you a warranty. So if you want any more information about the whole ARMAX range, jump on safari4x4.com.au or search for them on social media.